Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video of my 30-day series, and I am here to talk about when you have resistance showing up in your life when you really want to do something or complete something. And this can show up in a lot of different ways. And it's also known as duality. So say if, you have competing, what do you call that? Competing conflicts, basically. And it's like a matter of prioritization or many things happening at one time. But one example that I can think of that I've, dealt with is just like, that I can think of. But someone would like make me upset, and then, obviously I'm triggered, I'm not really feeling it, and so it makes me not want to come and do whatever it is that I need to do, whether it's go eat my meal prep, and then instead I go and binge or eat something that I'm not supposed to be eating. And then, experiencing something sad, like, the loss of a job, the loss of anything, honestly, that could be happening in your life. And those things happening at the same time, or like, you fail a test and then someone makes you upset within the same day, it can feel like a lot if you don't know how to use that to your advantage. And so what I mean by that is, I'll just use the example with the test. I would use that failed test to talk with the teacher to see if I can get makeup points or something, or do an extra assignment, or, and being persistent with it. And then also just going to the teacher more. And I'm not gonna say, no, seriously, if you're like in school and in college, I will say that this is the actual hack, is to just go to the office hours. Even if you understand the material, just go and just ask one question every single time they have office hours. You will become the favorite student and you will get good grades. Ask me how I know. I was really good at this and I didn't realize it until now, but yeah. So just using those things that seem like your world is crumbling and everything. So with the person that made you upset, let's say they said that you look some type of way, or you know what, I'm just using an example that most people use. Road rage on the road. Somebody cut you off. Someone cut you off on the road, and so now you are in this energy of, oh my gosh, why do they have to do that? And the talk, the voice, the program just gets to going and going and going. And if you were to make a choice to just turn on the music instead of calling your friend and telling them about what happened, no, that just, you're creating your own suffering. Just no. What you want to do instead is turn up your music, your favorite song, the playlist that we talked about in the last episode, or the different habits and commitments list that you have when you want to feel good now. What'll happen when you start doing this more often, you're gonna find yourself being the best version of yourself every single day without fail. This is what happens when you make that micro things like that a habit. And I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy, but it's also not hard, because clearly I did it in my own life. I'm dealing with a lot of duality right now, and I decided to show up, and no, I'm not feeling that well today. And that's okay. I'm annoyed. There's a lot of things that are going on in my life that, I would, you know, would just be like, oh, wow, I wish that wouldn't have happened. But I have to look at, well, okay. Someone mentioned, like, it's like a GPS, right? It's just rerouting you. Now, you can go the other way, or you can go the way it's telling you to go, right? When you decide to go the other way, that's how you get into the drama and all that. But when you go the way that it's telling you to go, you shift into the identity of that person who is self-sufficient, self-confident. That person's feeling good about themselves every single day, no matter what. You become a person who is unshakable. You become a person who is truly unbothered, not saying it, but you're actually unbothered inside of your body when something is happening to you. That is, a circumstance that you wouldn't prefer. You're able to turn things that you do not prefer into something that you do prefer. And a lot of people talk about alchemy, and this is what alchemy is. Turning something horrific into something beautiful. And I see this all the time on just like social media. They'll like take some old thing, and I saw this lady, it was like old pieces of something. I don't know. It was just old pieces of something that she would collect, scraps or something. And she turned it into this beautiful piece of artwork, and I think it was some old flowers. And she used she just created a beautiful piece of artwork out of it. Out of scraps, out of trash. What people would consider trash is somebody else's treasure and is making them money. That is alchemy. And that is also duality showing up, because you have two sides. Like I said before, which side are you picking? God or the devil? You reacting to that person on the road, that's the devil. You deciding to just blast your favorite playlist because you've been listening to me, and you've been, having your list of things that you need to do when you're not feeling dysregulated to help you feel good now. And now you're a completely different person, and you're unrecognizable. And when you do this consistently, you are a different person. You're no longer the person who's reacting to the road rage. You're no longer the person who's calling your friends and family and telling them and sending them pictures and voicemails and voice messages about the road rage. You're no longer that person. It's not a part of you. A part of you had to die. And that was the devil side part of you, the negative energy part of you, whatever, the adversary part of you, whatever you resonate with, that means the same thing as that. And you become, a representative of God versus the devil. And every day you have a choice that you're dabbling in. And do you want to alchemize it? You can lose your job. That's happened to me plenty of different times. And yes, I've had meltdowns. And yes, I've had to be on unemployment. And yes, I've had to go through so many different moments where I was just like, why is this happening to me? That's when I was in victimhood. I was blaming the other people. But when you stop pointing the finger and you ask yourself, what part of me is making this happen? When I am fired from a job and I'm thinking like that, the only thing that turns to is, okay, this is happening for my good. That's the only reason why this is happening. No matter how crazy the situation may be. Why is it happening? It could be for your good. You don't know. And that's duality. And you have to be ready and have these materials and lists and things ready for when duality shows up in your life. And it could be the small things, like someone going off on you, or you losing a job. I'll even use you losing someone in your family that is close to you, near and dear to you. You can look at it as if, oh, I'm so sad that this person is gone. And yes, I'm not spiritual bypassing or anything like that. Yes, process your emotions. Yes, go to the funeral. Yes, process. But there comes a certain point where you can get the help that you need, which is, going to therapy, reading about grief, learning about grief, informing yourself about grief, so you're not stuck in this thing of, I lost love, Because one thing that I realized when it comes to grief, personally for me, is realizing that when I lose someone, it doesn't mean I lost the love that I always was. That just means that is a transition for them. And that's a whole nother story for another day. I'm not even here for that, to discuss that really. But just to give you an example of, there are things that you can do. You don't have to be stuck forever. There's always a process. There's always a way to transmute it. Whoever passed away, you could create something beautiful in memory of them that could last for decades. So say if you were so angry and upset and blamed yourself, and you went through all of the different stages of grief, or you're just stuck in one and you don't know how to get out of it, and so you're stuck with this anger, the anger that I told you guys about, either yesterday or a couple days back on my video. I talked about how I used my anger to push myself forward and elevate my life. You can do the same thing with grief. Grief is actually a very great way to become a millionaire. So if you do lose somebody, do something in honor of them. I guarantee. And it has to be something big, like starting a foundation in their name, or selling something that you knew that they just loved and you're selling it on Etsy. When I tell you, that is the way to do it. Because one, you're honoring the person every single day. You can even honor every year that person that the store opened, or whatever you created open. Like, you're just creating this gratitude and momentum. And, it's just a great and beautiful thing. Create something out of it. Don't be stuck in your pain forever, because that stuckness is going to be your downfall. And you're going to have a lot of regrets in life. So it is very, very in your benefit to listen, because it's important, and it could transform your life. You could become the person who is unbreakable. No matter what happens, you're unbreakable. Nobody can break you. Nothing can break you. Nothing. Not even a comment, not even nothing. Because you know how to use it to your benefit. If you learn how to use things to your benefit, it's impossible. It's impossible. Yes, you're a human. Yes, you're going to feel emotions. I'm not saying that you're going to feel lovey-dovey all day. I told you guys that I'm not feeling great today, but I still decided to show up for my platform, because this is something that I care about. I care about giving back to my community and giving back to my followers. So, when duality shows up, who are you going to be? Do you want to be a new person? And if you find yourself stuck, like I'll always say, my email is in my bio. Make sure you guys like the video so other wonderful people can see this content, because the world needs it at this time. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.